Chris, I'm really excited that you're in the studio with me here today. So I want to learn more about Nulogy. So in your own words, what does Nulogy do?
Thanks, Daniel. I'm excited to be here as well. Nulogy is really about uniting supply chain communities. So as you may or may not know, large CPG companies outsource about 20% of their external manufacturing and packaging. And we try and unite those two groups of people by synchronizing the CPG's demand to the supplier's ability to produce through shared visibility, data, communication tools. Nulogy itself is 20 years old. It was founded by 4 guys out of the University of Waterloo. It started in their parents' living room, kind of bootstrapped their way to success. All 4 founders are still with us. CEO, COO are both founders. And they really kind of grew sustainably. They've actually haven't taken a lot of investment. There has been some, but they've grown from serving small, regional, family-owned manufacturers through to some of the biggest CPG, 3PL companies in the world.
That is impressive. And it's exciting to see how that kind of founding story and how you've grown to where you are today. That's pretty awesome. So tell me more about how you've built this platform powered by Snowflake.
Right. So the platform we're going to be talking about today is what we call our supplier collaboration platform, which is really about aggregating data across a third-party supply chain. So imagine a large cosmetics company with hundreds of different suppliers. So we want to aggregate that data, provide visibility into that data, provide shared outcomes and opportunities for collaboration. And we use Snowflake to help aggregate that data and surface it to the company, but we also make that data available to all the participants on the network as well, whether they're also a Snowflake company or Snowflake customer, or if they just want to connect directly to their data on the Snowflake platform.
So that's really exciting. So a platform like that seems like it would need an immense amount of data to really get that supply chain, data, make sense of it, really extract that value from it. So tell me more about how you've architected this platform on top of Snowflake.
So all the data we collect through our integrations platform. So we integrate to, again, if we're talking about a CPG with 100 different suppliers, we have integrations to each of their systems feeding into the supplier collaboration system, which we then feed all of that data into Snowflake. For us, as you can imagine, some of that data is proprietary. Some of it is there to be shared. So being able to structure that data and share it in Snowflake is a big part of one of the reasons why we chose Snowflake.
So that's really interesting. So you have your own kind of ETL pipelines that you have, from these CPG, companies ingesting into Snowflake?
Not quite. We have it ingested into our own data model first,
okay,
and then sharing it in real time to Snowflake that way. A lot of CPG companies are still using very legacy integration methodologies like EDI transactions.
Okay.
So it's easier for us. We have a lot of experience translating that into something that we can easily share to Snowflake.
That's really interesting. So with a platform like that, how often are you having to join all of these different pieces of data to really make sense and provide that value of these data insights? How often are you joining the data together?
Like every day, all day.
Perfect.
Is the answer. So that's key to getting success for the customers, right? Being able to see across their community of suppliers and being able to see all that data in near real time.
Fantastic. So let's see a demo today.
Okay. But before we jump into the demo, I thought I would provide a little more context by showing the different components of our solution. In front of us here, I've got a high-level architecture diagram of what we've built. We have a shop floor solution, which is what suppliers use to run their facilities. The supplier collaboration solution, which we'll be talking about in a couple of minutes. And then all of that sits on top of our data solution powered by Snowflake. All right, so let's dive into our platform. So I'm just going to highlight a couple quick modules in the platform. Usually our customers would start their collaboration on demand versus supply in a capacity management view. What we're looking at here is different products by different process types. So the solution aggregates the demand from the brand, the CPG brand, and compares it to the available capacity available at each supplier in their network. So we can easily see quickly where they're under capacity or over capacity. From there, we can jump in and take a look at all their different orders that they have in flight. And keep in mind, we're talking about hundreds of individual orders in flight at any one given time. The planners can easily see what requires a response, what's at risk, what's late, and get more details about that order. We feed in when production starts, how much has been produced, all of that good stuff. And then we facilitate collaboration between the brand and the supplier, allowing them to kind of come to a plan that's realizable, that makes sense for both organizations. In addition, we have an analytics layer that is powered by Snowflake, and we surface a multitude of configurable different analytics that are shared between both the supplier and the brand. Prior to using Nulogy, most of that supplier-brand interaction was being done by phone calls, via spreadsheets, and it's been really a great lift for them to be able to have this shared source of data that's available in real time, that they're all working from the same set of information.
This is pretty insightful, and it's really cool to see how you are able to really dive deep into this data and really surface the most important aspects.
For sure, and these are the metrics that are critical to the success and the operation of both those organizations. Fulfilling their orders on time, in full, making sure the product is on the shelf for the customers.
Awesome. So tell me more about how and why did you choose Snowflake to build this platform on?
Some of them were the obvious things like reliability, price, scalability was a key thing. When we were looking at vendors, we also took a look at what our customers were using for their own data needs, and we found that there was a nice crossover between our most strategic customers and Snowflake's customers. And we really got sold on the innate data sharing capabilities of Snowflake. So we're collecting lots of great data. We want them to be able to connect that data to whatever data they're collecting. And it also gives us an opportunity to easily extend our solutions. So for example, right now, our data science team is working on a couple different experiments where they're building native apps on Snowflake that we're testing. And we're really excited about how we can extend our platform with Snowflake. We really feel we're just at the beginning of our journey with Snowflake, even though we've come a long way. There's so much more we can do with the platform.
Fantastic. I really resonate with your comment there about that alignment between products. I think that is a real game changer for future roadmaps. And speaking of roadmaps, we had some big announcements at Summit recently, right? So we had Snowflake native applications. We talked about Snowpark container services, even the partnership with NVIDIA with bringing GPUs directly inside of Snowflake. Talk to me a little bit about how Nulogy is planning on using generative AI in your product.
One of the challenges we always have had with AI models is actually building them in a contained way and release them to the market quickly without trying to embed them in our core platforms. And the native apps has really let us start to experiment and rapidly bring things to market and experiment with a few different customers or build something a little bit unique for those customers. So really we've started experimenting with the native apps. Not so sure about the other two yet.
Okay. Well, awesome. That's really interesting to hear. I think it's really exciting. So tell me, for your customers, what should they get most excited about over the next 6 to 12 months about your product?
They should get most excited about us really focusing on that interaction when the demand is communicated from the brand to coming up with a realizable plan that's informed with rich data, historical data, and intelligence.
Fantastic. So, Chris, from here, where should people go to learn more about you or about Nulogy?
Our website, nulogy.com, would be a great source. You can see profiles of our different products, the industries we serve, and even a bio of myself.
Fantastic. So, Chris, I want to say a big thank you for joining me in the studio today. It's been great having you and learning all about the Nulogy platform and how it's powered by Snowflake.
Thanks so much. I've enjoyed it.
And folks, if you want to learn how to build your next application on Snowflake, check out developers.snowflake.com. And if you want to see other interviews like this with technical leaders in the space, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. My name is Daniel Myers, and this has been another episode of Powered by Snowflake.